They've really done it this time, guys. Special counsel Jack Smith just committed a major mistake, and now he's under investigation by Congress. That's right, guys. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan is investigating whether evidence seized by the FBI in its raid on former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago home was a part of Special Counsel Jack Smith's classified records case was altered or manipulated. Smith and federal prosecutors recently admitted in a court filing that there are some boxes where the order of items within the box is not the same as in the associated scans. But this is way different from what these prosecutors told the court earlier, which is that the documents were in the original intact form as seized. Now, apart from the investigation into Jack Smith, this also gave U.S. District Eileen Cannon enough evidence to scrap the set trial for Donald Trump's classified documents case and likely push the proceedings back until after November 5th's election. In a 5-page scheduling order handed down just a few days ago, U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon wrote that fixing a trial date at this time would be imprudent and inconsistent with the court's duty to fully and fairly consider the various pending pretrial motions and additional pretrial and trial preparations necessary to present this case to a jury. Translation: not only will this mishandling of documents mean an investigation for special counsel Jack Smith, but it also means he's probably not going to get his chance to prosecute former President Donald Trump like he dreamed of. How about that? Also, another win for Donald Trump. House Republicans are moving to take down President Joe Biden right now. They're moving forward with contempt of Congress charges against Attorney General Merrick Garland next week over his refusal to comply with a subpoena for audio recordings of President Joe Biden's interview with former special counsel Robert Hur. So the subpoena is for the audio files of Joe Biden's lengthy interview with Hur as a part of the former special counsel's investigation into the president's handling of classified White House documents. In late February, by House Oversight Committee Chairman Jim Jordan and House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer. So it could turn out that Joe Biden, he could be the one facing a case about mishandling classified documents. Well, it definitely looks like Trump is making a court comeback in a major way, because it's not just in the classified documents case that he's making headway. He and his crack defense team just announced that they're filing a motion to appeal what they're calling the unconstitutional gag order that was imposed on former President Trump, restricting what he can say publicly about the case. Now, according to our former president, many good things are going with this case, especially since it should not have been filed in the first place. Well, what do you guys think? Are they going to drop Trump's charges any day now? Well, stay tuned as we dive deep into the legal complexities and the political maneuvers that are shaping this case. You guys ready for this? All right, we're diving right in. Okay, so first, House Representative Jim Jordan launching his investigation into special counsel Jack Smith. Now, you can definitely appreciate the irony in this one, guys. Check this out.
Also breaking tonight, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan of Ohio has announced an investigation into the special counsel Jack Smith after a shocking filing from his office on Friday revealed that documents seized from Mar-a-Lago are no longer in the same order or sequence. The filing included a footnote reading, quote, "The government acknowledges that this is inconsistent with what the government counsel previously understood and represented to the court." Here with more, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan. What would you call this, Jim Jordan? I'm wondering if the issue of whether or not the evidence has been tainted is now front and center in the case in Florida.
Yeah, the order of the documents seized was changed. That one sentence says it all. Most people would call that tampering with evidence. The physical documents didn't match up with the scanned documents. And here's the irony, Sean. This is Jack Smith mishandling the very documents that he's charging President Trump with mishandling. Go figure. I mean, that to me is the ultimate irony here. Not to mention, of course, the double standard.
You see the irony here? Jack Smith is now under investigation for mishandling classified documents, the very same thing he's been trying to get Donald Trump for all this time. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, guys. This is the reason why a lot of people are saying that they're so sick of what they see as a crooked administration. Some are even calling for the arrest of Jack Smith and other DAs who went after Donald Trump. And I mean, now, not later. Well, I guess this House Judiciary Committee investigation is a good start. So yeah, the committee chairman, Jim Jordan, he sent a letter to the Office of Professional professional responsibility recently after Smith admitted that seized documents are no longer in the original order and sequence. To be exact, Jack Smith and his team admitted that there are some boxes where the order of the items within the box is not the same as the associated scans. But the plot gets even thicker when we realize that the prosecutors had previously told the courts that the documents were in the original intact form as seized. As the filing said, this is completely inconsistent with what the government counsel previously understood and represented to the court. So Jim Jordan in his letter said that the acknowledgement presents grave concerns about the Justice Department's commitment to impartial justice, whether the special counsel's office misled a federal court, whether the special counsel's office strenuously upheld the highest professional standards of the Department of Justice. So, Jim Jordan is now asking the DOJ's Office of Professional Responsibility to hold accountable attorneys who may have violated the standards. Jim Jordan is demanding that the office produce all documents and records referring to or relating to any allegation of ethical impropriety regarding Smith, top prosecutor Jay Bratt, or any other assigned attorney to the special counsel's office. So Jordan is also requesting all documents and records related to the manipulation of the documents seized from Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence in August 2022, among others by May 20th, meaning a delay in Donald Trump's classified documents case possibly beyond Election Day. More on that later, because we're talking about a lot of documents here. The FBI seized 33 boxes of documents in August 2022 from Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida, which was the same start of the legal battle that Donald Trump has called a scam. And overseeing this investigation is Special Prosecutor Smith, who Attorney General Merrick Garland appointed to the job and has charged Trump with 40 felony counts, including allegedly violating the Espionage Act, making false statements to investigators, and conspiracy to obstruct justice. Possibly all the things that he himself could eventually face if this House investigation finds him guilty of anything. Already, former President Donald Trump is calling for Jack Smith's arrest. He said on Truth Social, now, deranged Jack Smith has admitted in a filing in front of Judge Cannon to what Donald Trump has been saying is happening since the illegal raid on my home, Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, that he and his team committed blatant evidence tampering by mishandling the very boxes that they used as a pretext to bring this fake case. These deeply illegal actions by the politicized prosecutors mandate that this whole witch hunt be dropped immediately. End the boxes hoaxes. MAGA 2024. He ended the post by saying, "Arrest deranged Jack Smith. He is a criminal." Behind him 100% are all of his millions of supporters. Many of them who say that they don't care what they do to Trump. They will still vote for him. I mean, what can I say, guys? We're definitely diving deep into some major political drama today, and I appreciate you guys tuning in as always. Now, if you're finding our coverage on Donald Trump's case and the surrounding controversies insightful, got a small favor to ask. Don't forget to hit the like button if you guys are enjoying the discussion. It really does help out the channel. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. All right, so we got a lot more content coming your way, including updates on this particular story as it develops, and trust me, you're not gonna wanna miss out. Your love and support means the world to me. All right, so let's get back to it. Because of all of this controversy over Jack Smith's handling of these classified documents, U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon decided that fixing a trial date at this time would be imprudent and inconsistent with the court's duty to fully and fairly consider the various pending pretrial motions and additional pretrial and trial preparations necessary to present this case to a jury. Meaning, they just got an extension in this court case against Donald Trump to probably well beyond Election Day. Now, he just needs to deal with his other cases. In total, Donald Trump is facing 88 counts spanning 4 indictments, though it's unlikely any of the other cases reach trial before Election Day. Donald Trump is currently facing trial in Manhattan on a 34-count indictment, charging him with falsifying business records to conceal hush money payments to 2 women. In a separate case, the Supreme Court is weighing arguments that Donald Trump is immune from federal prosecution in a separate case brought by Jack Smith, charging him with unlawfully conspiring to remain in power during his 2020 election loss. Meanwhile, a 10-count indictment against Trump for alleged 2020 election tampering in Georgia does not yet have a trial start date either. But should Donald Trump succeed in delaying the remainder of his trials until after election and win the presidency, he will have the authority to instruct the Justice Department to call off Smith's prosecutions. Now, that would be something to see. Now, apart from that, former President Donald Trump announced that his defense team in New York versus Trump's case has filed a motion to appeal the unconstitutional gag order that was imposed on him, restricting what he can publicly say about the case. And as Donald Trump said, many good things are going on with the case, especially especially since it shouldn't have been filed according to Trump. You see, Trump is under a gag order that prevents him from making or directing others to make public statements about witnesses and their potential participation or remarks about court staff, DA staff, or family members of staff. The judge in this case has ruled Donald Trump has violated the order 10 times, resulting in a total of $10,000 in fines and threatening jail time if Trump continues to violate the order. Trump also shared some commentary on the case from legal scholars such as Alan Dershowitz and Jonathan Turley. He quoted George Washington University law professor Turley saying, "This is a Frankenstein case. They took a dead misdemeanor, they attached it to a dead alleged federal felony and zapped it back into life. So many of us are just amazed to watch this actually walk into court because it's not a recognizable crime that any of us have seen." Former Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz, for his part, said he's been doing this for 60 years and he doesn't understand what crime Trump's even been charged with. Nobody understands this. There's no evidence of any crime whatsoever. That's the bottom line. This is a sham. Same thing for Trump's case in Georgia being prosecuted by Fulton County DA Fani Willis. Legal experts are saying that it should be dismissed immediately. Then you have President Biden, who could be facing his own legal problems pretty soon, as House Republicans are planning contempt of Congress charges against Attorney General Merrick Garland over his refusal to comply with a subpoena for audio records of President Biden's interview with former special counsel Robert Hur. So basically, Garland was issued a subpoena for the audio files of Biden's lengthy interview with Hur as a part of the former special counsel's investigation into the president's handling of classified White House documents in late February by House Oversight Committee Chairman Jim Jordan and House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer. This is the same interview where Biden confused key dates, like which year his son Beau died of brain cancer and the year that Donald Trump was actually elected president. Robert Hur submitted a 388-page bombshell report on the interview where he said that a jury would probably perceive Biden, the oldest president in U.S. history, as a sympathetic, well-meaning, elderly man with a poor memory. Now, at the same time, Robert Hur also noted in the report that Biden willfully retained and disclosed classified materials that their team concluded there wasn't enough to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, the question is this the kind of man that you really want for the president of the United States come November? Actually, here's a better question for you guys. What do you think of Biden? Do you think he's connected to all these investigations and the trials against former President Donald Trump?